So this is the entryway into my working craft room. You recently saw a video of my storage craft room. And as we start to walk in, just this little cart right over here to the left is empty. But as I'm working on a project, I will put things on that cart like scrap pieces of paper from whatever digital kit I'm working on, or any handmade ephemera that I already have completed, and it rolls right into the room. As you walk into the room, this is just off of the front door. So it's really nice because I've got this beautiful window here. And so as I'm sitting at my desk crafting, I can see out to the street and see what's going on in the neighborhood. Just call me Mrs. Kravitz. For those of you that don't know who that is, that was from a TV show called Hazel, and there was a Mrs., or was it Bewitched? Tell me, was it Hazel or was it Bewitched? Where there was a nosy neighbor who knew everything that was going on in the neighborhood. So as you're looking out, you can see that tree and you think, it is January. Now, why in the world does that girl have a tree up? Well, that tree stays up year around. That is called my travel tree, and it has mementos, ornaments, all kinds of things that I have collected from my travels all over the United States and the world. And so soon as I venture on my trip to Australia, I'll be able to buy things to put on the tree and add those. But, you know, it brings me a lot of joy to look at that tree. So I don't mind that it's up year round. So I work in kind of a little L shape, and this first little cart here, on the top of the cart, I have these bags, and they all have fabric scraps in them, and they are marked with whatever color I'm using. And then I've got this one bag that is Italian fabric. And then down below, that cart has just my neutral papers in it that I back ephemera with, vintage lace, colored lace, and then different fabric scraps, other more fabric scraps, and then cardstock or digitals by color, and those are just scraps. And then this next cart over that had holds my brother's scan and cut on the top there. And then down below, this is just a little Stampin' Up die cutting machine that's really nice and portable. And if you're die cutting something small, that works beautiful. I use that tablecloth for filming. And then in these drawers here is just my different papers for my printer. Hammermill paper, Epson paper, just Walmart cheap paper, Koala and Red River paper. And then in this drawer here, if I'm going to back a digital with some plain paper for writing, then that's for that. And this is just kind of a catch-all drawer. My computer, or excuse me, my printer is an Epson ET15000 EcoTank printer, and I absolutely love it. I think it does a pretty good job. And then I have a Fiskars large cutter, paper cutter here that is very useful. It's one of my favorites. I have several paper cutters, but this one is the one I use the majority of the time. And this is one of those desks that go up and down as you need. You just press the button and it raises up. So if I want to stand and work on something, I can, or I can press the button and it will go down. This was a gift from my daughter and son-in-law last Christmas. This is some digitals and things that I'm working on for my upcoming video. And then this is a smaller paper cutter that I a lot of times use for chipboard, but I also will just take it to my desk and use it if I don't want to stand up and go over to that one. These drawers, I'm not going to open them up. Texture paste, jelly plates, gloves and paint, palette, paint brushes, sponges, brayers, miscellaneous. These, I think I got these from Michael's. I have embossing supplies here, including my heat gun, embossing powders, beeswax, clear and white embossing powders, glitter, mica powders, velvet pigment, glitter, and tapes. And then there's a large trash can back here that as I'm using my cutter and cutting things, I can just throw things there. Then I've got this nice TV that I'm able to watch YouTube videos on. Then as I sit at this desk, I think I showed you this recently in a video that I added a whole nother desk back here, which gave me a lot more room to work with. To the left of my desk on the top, these are book pages that I use very frequently. This is my 1700s German alphabet book, or alphabet letters. And then I have some pockets with French book page, Florentine scraps, Italian book pages, German book pages, different labels, book page scraps, dictionary pages, Egyptian, Arabic. These I reach for quite frequently. I use a Mac, and that is here. Then this is a Lazy Susan, and it has my electric Gemini on it. And so I'm able to die cut. And then if I need to pull something off of it, then I'm just able to turn it around, and that's really easy. Way back in the back there, that is something that I ordered from Amazon, and I'm so glad I did. It's an electrical outlet stand, and what is it? Something like, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and there are 3 electrical plugs on each side, plus adapters for computers and things like that. So that is fantastic. This is my microphone here, and this was a great buy. If you guys have an Etsy store, it is well worth it to buy yourself a printer for labels for shipping. That just, boy, that was a lifesaver, and I don't think I spent that much money on that. So that was fantastic. In this little basket here that I bought in Italy is my controllers for my television set, my inks that I use frequently. Back there is a really small guillotine cutter from Stampin' Up, some stamping blocks. These are the glues that I use most frequently. My Fabri-Tac, my 3-in-1, my art glitter glue, and then whatever glue stick I'm using at the time. In these front little containers, I bought this in Holland. It's got pens and pencils in it. I bought this in Singapore, and it's got a 6-inch ruler, my pokey tool, a nail file, bone folder. And then this I bought in the Philippines, and again, it's got my Tim Holtz hammer and some tweezers and what have you. Then here I have this circular or Lazy Susan thing that has my bigger glues on it and various other things. Then I bought this at Michael's. This is a great little tool. It's got my bigger rulers, scissors, hemostats, my calculator, things for cutting chains and stuff like that. And then above it, this is all of my sprays for inks. And then back there is another small little lamp. Then across my desk is all of my washi tape by color, you know, my greens, my blues, my Christmas ones way over here. That very top little area, that's a little dish that I bought in Italy, and it's got my rings in it. This is something I also bought in Italy, and it's just got my Tim Holtz scraper in it. That has all of my vitamins in it per week, and then my business cards. And then way back in that back corner is something I had bought at in Montana when I was at Gail Augustinelli's retreat, and that is a stamp holder for those old-fashioned stamps, and then my baby wipes there. To the left of my desk, it's just office supplies here. These are punches and corner rounders, the ones I use the most frequently. Then in here is a box of Kleenex. This is where I keep my list of my viewers' comments, die cutting plates here. And for those of you that don't know, this is a wonderful little trick. When you use your die cutting machine, if you just have a small little foam pad and then a brush, if you lay your die here and run the brush over it, all those little bits and pieces will come out of that paper that you just die cut, and then you can just empty this as you need. So that's a great tip. I got that when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And then there's all my different plates for my die cutting machines. And then in the bottom drawer, this is all of my bookbinding supplies, my clips, needles, paper clips, big, large paper clips. Down below there, that's little Miss Fiona's little sleeping area. On the left-hand side, this is just inks, my two different staplers, my large one and my tiny attacher, just some inks, alcohols, what have you. This has different decorative scissors and double-sided tape, just pieces from books that if I need to strengthen up a book, then I just will glue this onto part of the page. The next drawer down is boxes of embellishments. These are boxes that you get, they're photo boxes. And say, for instance, if I'm looking for some birds, then I can just pull that out, and that's all of my birds cut out. Or then I've got small birds here, flowers and mushrooms, leaves, all kinds of ephemera there. My crocodile, a couple of different crocodiles, my big bite crocodile, my small one, my We Are Memory Keeper ones, and then my larger and smaller eyelets. And then this drawer is kind of a hodgepodge. It's got my colored cheesecloth, my string that I bought in Italy, some other twine there, some lavender I got from Jean, found from J&M, I think is her name, and just other little products there. This is my Tim Holtz large glass mat. And then as you go up to the top, those are all things that I have made over the years. these are all paper products. A paper bag that looks like a shopping bag. There is a smaller journal there. That's a card I made, and it is called a diorama card. So it's dimensional. Another journal I made this box there. Oops, sorry for jiggling. I made that out of a Stampin' Up! Paper pumpkin box. It's Halloween decoration. This is a fun card I made. Pull it down. It looks like there's water here. See that? Oops. Ah. Shoot. So yeah, there's water there. That was made using gel. I think hand lotion gel, but isn't that fun? So yeah. And then there's a purse I made there, again, out of paper. Another little purse I made, that white one. A bag, that's a Halloween bag. This is, again, all made out of paper, and it's a storage box. Has my name on it. Another little purse out of paper. That looks kind of like a designer purse. Cute little thing. And then a card I made with flowers and what have you. Then in the top shelf is different colored cardstock, which kind of then comes down here throughout there. These are some journals I've made in the past. One of my favorite ones, my fairy journal. I made this snippet roll, small little journal there. Jane Austen journal, my medieval journal in a box. This is a journal I bought. This is sewing tags and stuff in there. This was from Roxy Creations, Journal of Stitchery, 2012. And I just put it in this box. I did hand sew all of that. Love that. That will be a pretty heirloom to go to one of my grandkids. And then this is my Ireland journal. This was just completed in 2023. Again, my Roxy Journal of Stitchery, Down the Garden Path. And this is journal I made, an ocean journal. This is all of my different colored dyed paper, coffee stained paper, avocado dyed paper, blueberry paper, just all in little sections there. This is some of that paper, Pepin paper. This is the floral one. And then I got the marbled one too. Then down below there, this is all sectioned by, French things, Italian things, ephemera, what have you. And then in this one, I have these little folders that I made that has like all my postage stamps in there, labels, men, women, and children, flowers, all ephemera holders, my Rachel labels, postage stamp stickers, words, what have you. And they're very easy for me to reach for and get. And then down below the journals here, these are mostly digital kits, and I put them in these bags, and whose ever digital kit it was, like Medieval Mirages, her Scribe one, Jane Austen, Medieval Mirage, Rachel. Those are the two people I buy most of my digital kits from. Their kits are fantastic. I do have a little shabby dabby doodah there. And then just ephemera that I have labeled that I will use in journals, just checks, ledger pages, English pages, book pages, and then some larger pages there. These are stamps that are more vintage that I use when I'm stamping pages. And then this is ephemera that I would use. These have all butterflies in it. This has all letters in it. Just miscellaneous things from your creative studio. And then again, more letters here. Then as I come up here, this is ephemera that is already made and ready to go into journals. And I have it separated by envelopes and tags, tucks, what have you, and small little books there. The same thing down here. This is all ephemera that's already made, you know, journaling cards, what have you, things like that. And then this down here is journaling pages that can go into journals that are ready, either already coffee stained or and what have you. Then below that shelf of journals, I have my Arteza acrylic paints here. Down below here, this is a book that I want to make a journal into. This was from Pam at Pandora's Junk Journals. This was a snippet roll she made me. Here are 2 French Bibles that were my mother-in-law's. And then in this bottom shelf is just different stencils, information on my scan and cut, postage stamps for me mailing things. This is my idea journal, and then just different books that I will use when I am creating. Then as I go up, then these are all of my Copic markers here. And then again, more Copic markers, and then my Stampin' Up! Markers, and then all of my Nuvo drops there. Underneath, again, I'm not going to open up the drawers, I don't think. I've got bead caps, photo negatives there, playing cards, magnets, Velcro. I will open that. How many people have their own drawer? Tim Holtz drawer. Then this is, again, one of the best investments I've made, a label maker, because I love labeling stuff. And then my mats for my scan and cut in all kinds of different tapes and double-sided tapes and extra glues and what have you. And then as we go to the left, these are all my metal pieces that, you know, book corners and rusty bits and, you know, various frames and stuff. Everything's metal there. Different, again, more book corners and jump rings, eye pins, things like that. Different charms in containers, chains and wire, and then my bead drawer, which has all different kinds of beads, and I've had to expand that and have 2 drawers with beads. Then up to the left, again, when I'm sitting at my desk, it's real easy for me to reach over here. I have my 2 different score boards, my envelope punch board. I've got 2 of those. And just envelopes, library cards there. I have paper cutters and stamping platforms here. Again, some more paper cutters. Different embellishments that I've made that are ready to go on to journals. Fabric embellishments and just coins. And then coffee dyed paper down here. Then as you go to the right of that area, I have this little rack here that has all kinds of ribbon there, and most of it is Stampin' Up! Ribbon. The picture above it I bought in Vietnam, and that, if you look real close, I mean, I can see there's a glare, but that's all hand stitched. And then as you go to the right, I have all of my buttons there, different Stampin' Up! Stamps, you know, my ink colors and what have you, a guillotine cutter, more ephemera in packs, and then down below is different kinds of scrapbook paper, wallpaper, Stampin' Up! Paper, all the Stampin' Up! Colors of paper there. You know, white papers, 110-pound cardstock, very vanilla. And then up here, there, that is all of my punches, my larger punches, including border punches and what have you. Then I have this cart to the right of that, and it is filled with all kinds of different twines and threads. I bought most of those bigger ones at an estate sale, but I use them to put on my journals, you know, when I just want a little bit of another decoration. I've got a lot of those. And then up here in the top is my eyelash trims, some of my Taperolgy trims, you know. And so it's really nice to have those close by. To the right of there, these are some project boxes that I'm working on right now. This is the next journal I'm working on, Medieval Mirage, Feast of Florals. That has everything in that. And then there's all of my prayer things for a prayer journal. Oh, and this is Ave Marie, another journal that I'll be working on. And then down below there, I think this was shelving or storage all from Michael's, you know, vellums, miscellaneous book pages, some jelly prints, Florentine paper, onion skin paper, just receipts, embroidery patterns, and things like that. This is all papers that I still need to scan and put in my Etsy store. And then I've got ribbons here, and again, fabrics of various colors. Here's some more of my acrylic paints. These are the dies that I use most frequently, you know, squares, rectangles, things like that. Cigarette cards, some pastels, and these are mostly things that I had got with Your Creative Studio, and then all kinds of different postcards there, and then just some areas there. I have daubers and miniature inks here, all of my wax paste there, blending brushes, every color that you could need or want, bulb pens and paper clips and various things like that. And then the bottom drawer again is some additional punches. So I think I went through the entire room. I did. So again, this is my working craft room. There was somebody, what did she call it? I will, when I go to edit this video, I will put in what she called it. She said it wasn't a craft room. She called it a portal to magic. That's what it was, portal to magic. But anyway, so I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me, and I would love to see videos of your craft room and, your creative space. But anyway, oh, and then just right up there, my camera, arm suspended from the ceiling. But anyway, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Bye bye.